Hello, and in this video I would like to give a simple explanation about the pulping process that are being done, specifically the dissolving pulping process. The first process is to fill up the digester vessel with wood chips. This process is called chip filling. The chips are being inserted into the digester vessel with the help of a screw conveyor in the upmost part of the digester called the capping valve. The filling process are being monitored by a sensor called the gamma ray to measure the total volume of chips inside of the digester. The chip filling process is also supported by a steam packing process where a low pressure steam are being injected into the top and bottom of the digester vessel. The packing functions to increase the density of chips and also homogenize the chip itself to make sure the reaction process could happen homogeneously. The second process is the preheating and prehydrolysis process. Preheating and prehydrolysis functions to remove the hemicellulose content inside of the wood pulp. The hemicellulose needs to be removed because in the viscose fiber production using the dissolved pulp, hemicellulose could affect the spinning process, where the fiber could tangle and block up the spinneret. The prehydrolysis are being done using the help of steam to cause the auto-hydrolysis process to happen. The hemicellulose will degrade and produce acid, where those acids could become a further catalyst inside of the prehydrolysis process. The prehydrolysis process are being done until the indicator parameters are reached. In this case, it is the P factor that determines the temperature and retention time of the pulp inside of the vessel. The excess pressure from the steam will be transferred into a cyclone to help separate the air and residue such as wood chips and liquors from the previous cooking process. The conditions after prehydrolysis stage will leave the vessel in acidic conditions. To prevent an effective reaction in the following process, a neutralization stage are added, where white liquor consisting of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfite from white liquor accumulator enters the bottom of the digester, neutralizing the vessel. After the vessel is neutralized, the next stage is the hot liquor filling. The first one is the hot black liquor filling, where black liquors are used white liquors that has already been contaminated with the residue from the previous pulping process. The black liquor is coming from the first black liquor accumulator into the vessel to open the pores of the chips to make sure the following liquor could penetrate the chips effectively. After the hot black liquor filling process comes hot white liquor filling, where the white liquors with a higher chemical strength compared to the black liquor are being inserted into the bottom of the digester. This white liquor will be the main chemical component that will help process the wood chips into wood pulp. The addition of white liquor will displace the previous liquor inside of the digester out into the second black liquor accumulator. After the vessel is filled with the chemicals, come the heating and cooking process. This process is being done to increase the temperature of the vessel and make the reaction happen faster. In this process, there will be 3 circulation points that will help circulate the liquor inside of the digester, so that the reaction will happen uniformly with the help of a centrifugal pump. Inside of this circulation point will be added high pressurized steam to help maintain the temperature inside of the digester. The cooking process is being done until the indicator parameters are reached. In this case, it is the H factor. After the cooking process is done, the next stage is to displace the liquor inside of the vessel in a step called displacement. Displacement stage functions to reduce the temperature of the vessel and also effectively stops the reaction that occurs inside of the digester, so that the wood pulp won't get destroyed by the excessive reaction. Displacement occurs when the liquors from the displacement tank enters the vessel, where the previous liquor will be displaced into the first black liquor accumulator. When the reaction has stopped, the next stage is to empty the vessel from the pulp in the discharge process. In this process, the pulp that has been cooked will enter the high-density tower with the help of a pump. To help eliminate the entirety of the pulp from inside of the digester, there will be some dilution points that will spray out low concentration liquor to help clear up the remaining pulp that are still stuck inside of the digester. Once the digester is empty, the next cooking process could happen over and over again.